Namaste, everyone. Today is a very special day. I've got some information to share about Nag Panchami. It's the 5th lunar day celebrated after the new moon, and it's in the month of Shravan. And it's very exciting. So obviously, anybody that saw my new moon reading in Cancer in Ashlesha Nakshatra, you can see there's a lot of this serpent wisdom energy at the base of the spine, activating that Kundalini Shakti energy. But here we've got on this particular day, now I've got my note sheet next to me so that I make sure that I cover everything that I wanted to share today, where we honor Nag Devta, the Serpent Gods, during this auspicious month of Sawan. So it's a Hindu highlighted festival, and it's very important for Rahu and Ketu as well. So if you're running a Rahu Mahadasha or a Ketu Mahadasha, you've got Antadashas, the sub-periods of Rahu or Ketu running at the moment. Rahu is the head of the serpent and Ketu is the body of the serpent, and you'll find that there's this energy playing out as well at the same time. So it's a very important time for that. And personal note, my Rahu Mahadasha started today, so it's been a very special and auspicious day for chanting to Rahu particularly. I have a very dear friend that I spoke to recently who's got a Ketu Mahadasha running, and just very interestingly looking at that axis. So I'll jump into the information. So today is a very important and traditional day of worship in honor of all serpent gods. It's on this particular 5th day of the lunar month of Shravana, July and August, usually where it falls in on the Hindu calendar. It falls on the 12th or the 13th of August 2021 for this year. So the 8th was the new moon, today's the 13th, so it's the 5th day after. The meaning of Naga is much more than snakes and serpents. The transformational energy that is within and outside of us are all forms of Nagas. This is pure awareness. The most important is the Kundalini Shakti, the coiled serpent that is found at the base of the spine that I shared in the new moon video. On Naga Panchami, which is today, we honor these transformational energies along with the serpent animal energy that works in mysterious ways. And I don't have my spirit animal book with me at the moment, but I'll share something on social media about that afterwards, because I find that it just gives a little extra layer of information that comes through. But I know that it's all about Kundalini energy because I've read the page before. The prayer below, given in Hindi and English, is chanted on this particular day. There are 12 different serpent gods that are worshipped here. Devotees pray to Anatta, Vasuki, the serpent that you'll find, the god serpent that you'll find around Lord Shiva's neck, Shisha, Padma, Kambala, Karkotaka, Ashvatara, Dhritarashtra, Shankha Pala, Kalaya, Takshaka, and Pingala gods. So the Nag Panchami mantra goes, Anantam Vokim Shisham Padmanabham Kakambalam Shankha Palam Dhritarashtram Takshakam Kaliya Tatya Etani Nava Namika Mahatmanam Sayam Kale Padentya Prata Kale Vishesham Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So I'll share that in the post as well so that you can see this. So the lunar nodes, like I mentioned at the start of this video, Rahu and Ketu are also represented by a serpent, Rahu being the head connected to the sarpas, and Ketu is the body connected to the Nagas. Nagas are mystical creatures full of wisdom and hidden treasures, and you'll often find them in caves around sacred sites or spiritual temples. And I shared a story about this in Bali in the new moon video on Ashlesha Nakshatra just the other day, where we went to honor Vishnu, Brahma, and Shiva at this particular ocean site, and we got to meet a Naga in the caves, and it was an incredibly, transformative experience, but I didn't fully understand it at the time. But as I have grown over the last couple of years, it makes a lot more sense. So if you're having issues related to Rahu and Ketu, like Karsapa dosha or Sarpa dosha, so you can Google it and there'll be calculators that you can put in your birth time and find out if this is relevant for you. Rahu Ketu is always on a 180-degree axis, so you'll find that at different places in the houses of the zodiac, that this will affect you in different ways. If you're running a Rahu or Ketu Mahadasha or a sub-period of a Rahu Ketu, an Antardasha, if you have Rahu Ketu transiting over natal planets or natal planets transiting over Rahu or Ketu, it is highly effective to worship the Nagas on this particular day, as they bring blessings and balance and prosperity into our lives. This particular festival we celebrate to seek protection against snake bites, snake afflictions, and also to receive the serpentine blessings for the welfare of your children, family, and overall affluence in general. I've heard many stories from my husband about cobras in India, and this is a very special day, particularly for our family as well. The areas in your birth chart that are affected by Rahu and Ketu and the day of the week for Rahu and Ketu will be especially active during this time, and this is the time to honor your ancestors as well. So you might find that even though we have our own particular dharma, we also have ancestral karma that comes through, and we can do a lot of healing on this particular day in regards to our ancestors. So Rahu, the energy that represents obsessions, comes through the ancestors as well. There's no tail, only a head, cannot be satiated. It's a big time for healing, and from many past life, desires and healing on that sense. Vasuki, the serpent god that I mentioned before that's around Lord Shiva's neck, is multi-talented disciple of Lord Shiva who symbolizes the balance of power, knowledge, and spirituality. The picture that I'm going to share within this video is of the puja that we did this morning for our family, and we have our own Shiva Murti statue at home, and you can see Vasuki around his neck. Vasuki took the road less traveled and received many of the virtuous traits from Lord Shiva. The following 3 virtues of Vasuki can be emulated by anyone during any phase of life. And like I said in the new moon video, if you didn't check it out, I'll leave the link under this video. It's got that energy of the Kundalini Shakti. It can be, the venom of the snake can be used to heal or to harm. And when we focus on, these honorable serpent gods, they're not these scary snakes that we should be fearing. It's just the power that is within them is huge for transformation. And with the following virtues that I'm going to share, when we focus on this, it's really going to help us transform. So self-discipline. Without self-discipline, we can't solve anything. With only some discipline, we can solve only some problems. Total discipline, we can solve all problems. By M. Scott Peck. Vasuki, or the snake, represents the intensity of the Kundalini lying lethargically in the Muladhara chakra of every individual. With self-discipline and meditation, anyone can plummet the Kundalini or Vasuki to the highest levels. Lord Shiva with Vasuki on his neck symbolizes the attainment of enlightenment and the Muladhara chakra. The second virtue, so the first one being self-discipline, the second one is open for change. Change is something that happens every time and everywhere. Change is life. Embracing change in any phase of life is a sign of one's adaptability and versatility. Every individual can learn this trait from the Serpent King Vasuki, who served the role of a churning rod during the Samudra Manthan, or bowstring for Lord Shiva. He openly accepted the change and adapted the same for delivery of success. Life is all about being open to the changes that come every day. So just being open to the unknown. You have no idea what's going to happen today. That is your invitation to be open to change, as opposed to when you're fixed-minded and, no, I'm doing it this way. And the third virtue is delayed gratification. Delayed gratification is one of the most effective personal traits and most difficult to acquire. It improves self-control and ultimately helps in attaining long-term goals. Vasuki enjoyed Hala Hala with Lord Shiva and attained the esteemed company of Lord Shiva. We can attain and enlighten our internal Vasuki by practicing these virtues and accompany Lord Shiva. So the first one is self-discipline. The second one is being open for change. And the third one is delayed gratification. Now, I just wanted to share a little story before I finish this video and share the rituals that you can do today to honor this energy. I've been thinking a lot about free will versus, set karma. And karma is literally action. So every action has a reaction. And when we look at our birth charts, we will never fully know, because Jyotish and Vedic astrology, the sidereal zodiac, is just so vast that whether you're a Western astrologer practicing Jyotish or an Indian astrologer practicing Jyotish, even Western astrology, it's just so big that we'll never fully master it. Maybe in Satya Yuga, who knows? But what I'm trying to say is that every action that we take, we have no idea how much karma we have accumulated in a past life. But if we are self-disciplined, we are open to changes, and we delay gratification. So if you are taking positive karma, let's say that maybe you mistreated your spouse in a past life, and like Ram, you've got Mars exalted in the 7th house, and then Ravana comes and takes Sita away, and then he goes, well, that was my Mars in my 7th house, and then judges that experience. But no, he took positive action, and he went and saved her, and he brought her back. So what I'm trying to say is that we have the ability to overcome ancestral karma. We have the ability to overcome past misdeeds and change the energy. And that's where, you know, when you're in a situation that's quite tough or challenging and we choose love, that's where we are putting forth the seeds of positive karma into our future. And when you delay the gratification, you're not expecting a result to come. You just do it because you want to do it. And at some point, you know, we are all going to rejoin back into this beautiful, loving light that we all come from, the light that is inside each and every one of us from the same source. And we just do it just because. And that takes self-discipline. So these 3 things, being open for change, self-discipline, and delayed gratification, are such beautiful energies for this day. And getting into the ritual, so honoring the Jyotirlingam linga of the planet Rahu with the mantra Om Namaha Shivaya Namo Nageshwaraya, and Ketu with the mantra Om Namah Shivaya Namo Vishwantaya. Number 2, feeding sattvic food to people who are less fortunate than yourself. Rahu and Ketu represent poisons, and it is best to avoid feeding toxic or poisonous food to other people. This includes alcohol, non-vegetarian foods, so preferring sattvic foods on this particular day. And, you know, if you want to get even more sattvic, make it biodynamic and organic. Fresh foods, otherwise they're considered on a degree poisonous. Number 3, worship Lord Ganesha with the mantra Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Lord Ganesha is the deity associated with Ketu. Worship Goddess Durga with the mantra Om Dum Durgaye Namaha, as Goddess Durga is the deity associated with Rahu. And to perform the puja like I did this morning, so either you can get a clay, and you can make a snake statue, and you can put it at your front door, and you can sing this mantra, the mantra from the beginning that I shared, the Nag Panchami mantra, which I'll share at the bottom of this post that you can see, to a deity of Lord Shiva, or a snake that you've made out of clay, or a picture of Nag, king of serpents, an image of a snake placed at your doorstep, and we adorn the serpent in flowers, and we offer milk or milk sweets like kheer, because milk is the preferred prasad that we offer on this particular day. So that's all my information on this particular video for Nag Panchami. And yeah, I hope you have a beautiful day. If you're running a Rahu Mahadasha or a Ketu Mahadasha, Antardasha, you've got any transits going over those planets, feel free to reach out. We can take a look at your chart in general. Probably be a bit late after today, but I've given you heaps of tools that you can have a look at so that you can do it yourself today. And lots of love and blessings to you for the weekends to come, wherever you may be in the world. Love, light, and blessings from me to you. Om Namah Shivaya.